Okay, real quick notes. This is on the back of that sheet that I gave y'all in class today, today being Friday. This is a sheet we worked on in class today. I had some limits on it like this on the front, and we did a lot of those in class, and then I intended to get to this in class today, but we didn't get around to it in the first period. So here we go. This is the back of the sheet. Okay, average rate of change. This is still in the same section in our book if you want to look in your book and kind of follow along or something. It's section 13.2 in our book. Okay, average rate of change. Whenever you see that phrase right there, average rate of change from x equals a to x equals b is the same thing as saying find the slope from x equals a to x equals b. Average rate of change and slope, those phrases, those terms are almost interchangeable. The formula to find the average rate of change, if you remember way back in Algebra 1, slope was change in y over change in x, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or you could swap that and do y1 minus y2. That is how you find slope. That's also how you find the average rate of change. It's just going to look a tad bit different. If I'm going from x equals b to x equals a, the formula, if you divide by a change in x, we're going to divide by b minus a. That's going to be my change in x, from x is b to x equals a. To get the y coordinates, though, we plug b and a into our function f of x. So my y coordinates are f of b and f of a, and that gives you the y coordinates. So that right there, f of b minus f of a over b minus a, is the formula for the average rate of change. Or, if you remember with slope, it really didn't matter if you did y2 minus y1 or y1 minus y2. Just whatever you started with on top, you have to start with on bottom. We could flip this to f of a minus f of b over a minus b. Both of those will give you the exact same answer, and that is how you find the average rate of change, those two formulas. You need to know those formulas. And there are 4 problems down here, and we'll knock these out real quick. For the following functions, find the average rate of change over the interval given. So I'm going on this one from x equals 1 to x equals 3. And remember, the formula for average rate of change is f of something, f of b minus f of a over b minus a. Problem, b minus 3 minus 1. So f of 3 minus f of 1 over 3 minus 1. And we've got to find f of 3 and f of 1, and we'll do that just like we did in Algebra 1. F of 1, we plug 1 into the function. 5 times 1 is 5, minus 3 is 2. F of 3, 5 times 3 is 15, minus 3 is 12. So when I plug that in, f of 3 is 12, minus f of 1 is 2, over 3 minus 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and that would be your average rate of change. If you're real astute, you would have known average rate of change is the same thing as finding slope, and this function happens to be a line with a slope of 5, so it's not a coincidence if average rate of change ended up being 5. But that only is true when you have lines. Number 2 here, this is not a line, this is a parabola, so this one we're actually going to have to go through and do the full formula for average rate of change. It's going to be f of 2 minus f of 1 over 2 minus 1. And then we're going to have to work out f of 2 and f of 1. So I'll do that over here. F of 2. 2 squared is 4. Minus 2 times 2 is 4, which is 0. F of 1. 1 squared minus 2 times 1 is negative 1. So f of 2, 0. Minus f of 1 is negative 1, so watch your parentheses there, minus and negative 1 over 2 minus 1. All right, 2 minus 1. 0 minus and negative 1, that same thing, 0 plus 1 over 2 minus 1, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. So f of 2 minus f of 1 over 2 minus 1, and work it out. Work it out. Let's do number 3. F of x is that, going from negative 1 to positive 1. Well, I already know that to do the average rate of change, I'm going to need to find the y coordinates for these two x's. So I'm going to go ahead and do f of negative 1. That's 1 over negative 1 plus 3 is 1 half. F of positive 1 is 1 over positive 1 plus 3, which is 1/4. And when I do my formula, f of negative 1 minus f of 1 over negative 1 minus 1, I can go ahead and plug in f of negative 1, which was 1/2, minus f of positive 1, which was 1/4, over negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And here's the trick I like to use for problems like this if I have fractions and fractions. 2 is being divided by 1. I look at all three of these fractions, 2, 4, and 1 are the denominators. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the common denominator. And the common denominators for 2, 4, and 1 is 4. So I'm going to multiply 4 through the top, 4 through the bottom. Let's see, distribute. 4 times 1/2 is 2 minus 4 times 1/4 is 1 over 4 times -2 is -8. 2 minus 1 is 1 over -8. There's your answer. Find f of -1, find f of 1, and plug into the formula. Last one, this one's for some reason throws people off. I can see why, because you have that pesky a there. I didn't give you two specific numbers. So I know, just like this one, I plugged in -1 and 1 on the front end to get my f of those numbers. I'm going to do the same thing here. F of 4 is 4 squared, 16, minus 7 times 4, 28. That's -12. F of a, this actually makes the problem easier, but y'all will make it more difficult. I don't know why, but you make this tough. F of a, I simply plug in a for the x. A squared minus 7a. And you can't really do anything else with that. So when I do my formula, f of a minus f of 4 over a minus 4, I'm going to plug in. F of a is a squared minus 7a, so a squared minus 7a minus f of 4, which was -12, over a minus 4. And then problems like this will usually clean up quite a bit. A squared minus 7a minus a -12 is plus 12 over a minus 4. And this one will actually factor and cancel. My numerator here factors to a minus 4, a minus 3 over a minus 4. The a minus 4's cancel, and I'm left with just a minus 3, and that's your average rate of change. We don't know, we don't have a specific number like we have on the rest because of that a, but that's your average rate of change, and that's going to wrap up this video. 7 minutes, how awesome. Maybe I should talk for 3 minutes just to get it up to 10 minutes. Nah, I don't feel like doing that.